Do you know what your truth is, or are you just telling me what you believe? That's a big fan. Peace and blessings. This is Derric RauKhu. And in this video, we want to talk about the difference, or understanding the difference between absolute truth and personal truth. Okay. Part of the reason why we're going ahead and we're doing this video is mainly because here lately, the channel has grown. We've gotten a number of subscribers, and that's a good thing. However, a lot of the new subscribers, they have not seen or have watched any of the previous videos that were made, so they haven't had this discussion about what is Maa and Maat, the concept Maa and the personification of Maa, which is Maat, okay, or the quote-unquote goddess Maat. As a result of that, because of people not going ahead and seeing that, I've had some people come on the channel and they're blasting, other subscribers. We can't have that, okay? Because this is supposed to be a learning community. We're supposed to be all focused on trying to grow and expand our consciousness, as well as expand our capabilities and our powers and so. All right, so I want to go ahead and, like I said, I want to address that. I want to talk about that, so that we kind of we're very we think and we speak and do things in consideration of others. All right, so as I've mentioned, all right, there is a concept Ma'at. Ma'at is M-A-A. All right. If you look at some of the old Kemetic translations and what have you, you will find, even if you look in, I believe it's Budge's dictionary, you'll find Ma'a, M-A-A, speaks about truth, balance, harmony, righteousness. It speaks about all of this. Okay. Ma'at, M-A-A-T, okay, this is the personification of the concept Ma'a. Now, a lot of people go ahead and get this confused, mainly because, that, like I said, many of us, we come from organized religion. We're in organized religion, you have a set of rules that you're supposed to follow, the 10 Commandments, plus the rules of the church, or the rules of the Kingdom Hall, or the rules of wherever, okay? And no one actually explains to us, especially when you get into Kemetic spirituality or any spiritual tradition for that matter, most people, they don't have it explained to them, the difference between those two different mindsets, okay? A religious mindset means that you follow these rules. So this is the reason why everybody who is considered to be a Christian, they all follow the same rules. They all have the same beliefs. They all believe in a certain thing. If you want to get into different denominations, then they believe specific things in regards to that religion, okay? But they all consider themselves to be Christian because they all follow this same kind of mindset, all right? This is not the case in Kemetic spirituality, all right? It is to some extent, but not necessarily. In Kemetic spirituality, there is no religious mindset. There are those who follow, and they do have a religious mindset, okay? So let me go ahead and put that out there. But that's not how Kemetic spirituality basically functions, okay? Kemetic spirituality is based upon the concept of Ma'at. Now, like I said before, people are asking, well, what's the difference between Ma'a and Ma'at? All right. As I was saying, Ma'a is a concept. Ma'at is the personification of that concept. All right. So what people are walking around saying, the laws of Ma'at, okay, technically that's not correct. The goddess Ma'at never came up with any, and I'm saying goddess loosely, but the goddess Ma'at never came up with any of these laws, okay? No one actually wrote down laws saying you have to do this or thou should do this, okay? The 42 commandments are as I've mentioned this before in other videos, the 42 commandments, or the 42, what people call the 42 laws of Ma'at, are declarations or affirmations of the scribe Ani. Okay, if you go back and you read it, this is why the scribe Ani is saying, I have not done these things. I have not done this. I have not done X, Y, Z, or I have done this. Okay, they are completely different from everyone else's. Okay, this is the reason why you did not find the scribe of Ani, you did not find the 42 laws, or these 42 declarations of Ma'at, or the 42 laws of Ma'at. You didn't find them posted all over the place. There was no one going around, they weren't posted on the wall like the Ten Commandments. Okay, they were inside of a text. They were basically, yes, they were copied because people, they liked it, but it was not, they were not rules of that you had to follow. Okay, this is what I'm getting at. Okay, and the reason why I keep going back to that is because I'm trying to get us to think, or I'm trying to get us to not really think, but I'm trying to get us to see the difference between a religious mindset and a spiritual mindset. Okay, a religious mindset and a spiritual mindset. All right. Now, and again, like I said, this is nothing. I'm not coming down on anybody. I'm not judging anybody for this. But because, I used to do this. I used to do this for a time period because I thought it was cool and everything. Hey, this was older than the Ten Commandments. I was proud to go ahead and say that. This is older than the Ten Commandments. This is really where the Ten Commandments came from. I was really happy to say that. But I noticed I wasn't going anywhere when I was doing it. Okay, I wasn't, my awareness, my consciousness, my spirit, it was not growing because I was trying to go ahead and adhere to these 42 laws, okay, quote unquote, that someone else had written thousands or so years ago. All right. In other words, I was following a religious mindset. Okay. Now, when you get out of religious mindset and you understand there's a difference between a religious mindset and a spiritual mindset, this is where you come into the uniqueness of Kemetic spirituality. And to get into that uniqueness, to understand what the uniqueness of Kemetic spirituality is, you have to realize the concept of my eye again, balance, truth, righteousness. All right. Balance, truth, righteousness. Right. Holistic living. And what this actually refers to when you get into, and you really, really get in depth with Ma'at, is that basically what Ma'at is dealing with, the concept of Ma'at, deals with there being a truth or an absolute truth, and then you discovering your truth. All right. Now I'm trying to go ahead and, like I said, I'm trying to piece this together so you can kind of understand or get the ideas so that you can take this on. What I mean by that is there are certain things that you'll notice in your life. If you're living a certain way, you'll notice there are certain things that when you do it, it gives you a positive result. Then there are certain things that you do. If you go ahead and you continue to do it, it gives you a negative result. Okay? Or it gives you a not so positive result. Okay? This way of living, if you're doing things based upon that perspective, okay, this does not mean that this is something or this is a rule that applies to everybody. Let me give you an example. I like strawberries. All right, it's a very, very low carb fruit. So recently, berries are in season. So I've been eating strawberries. Okay, well, not really eating them like that, but I've been basically, I make my little protein shake with strawberries. Now, the thing is, I'm allergic to strawberries. So if I eat an excessive amount of strawberries, I start noticing it because they're pretty acidic. And I'll start noticing all of a sudden, I have a pimple come up, on my face or so. Now, that means that if I'm going ahead, there's a certain amount of strawberries I have to gauge myself. I can't have more than 5 strawberries a day. If I have more than 5 strawberries a day, then hey, most likely we're going to go ahead, you're going to get a pimple. You're going to get, you either get a pimple or a breakout and a rash or so, because hey, body's like, hey, you've eaten too many strawberries. But is that to say that because I went ahead and I said, okay, well, hey, I can only eat 5 strawberries, is that to say that the next person, this is a rule for them now? You can only eat 5 strawberries because I can only eat 5 strawberries? No. Okay? Now, the fact that I can only eat 5 strawberries before this happens, that becomes my truth. Okay? Everybody get what I'm saying there? All right? It doesn't mean that the next person can't eat 5 strawberries or more than 5 strawberries, or the person on the other side, they have to eat less than strawberries or no strawberries at all. Okay? All it means is that in regards to me, my truth, the thing that I have to go ahead and watch out for, the thing I have to manage is I have to manage how many strawberries I eat. Okay? I don't need a rule to tell me this. All right? But if I go ahead and someone asks me, what's your rule on eating strawberries? Well, I can only eat 5 strawberries because if I eat more than 5 strawberries, here's the consequences. Okay? So that is my personal truth. That's what I have to live by, not everyone else. All right? So the thing about Kemetic spirituality is not based upon what you deserve. It's based upon what you earn. Let me say that again. Kemetic spirituality is not based upon what you deserve. It's based upon what you earn. So that being said, this is the reason why you see when you read about Ma'at, when you read about you read and you get more in depth in the philosophy of or the concept of what Ma'at actually deals with. You talk to people who actually are practicing Kemetic spirituality, you hear them say, you got to live the Ma'at, okay? Or the one saying, Ma'anka Ma'at, okay? You gotta live Ma'at, Ank Ma'at. You gotta live according to your truth, okay? When you live according to your truth, this is how you discover who Ma'at is, the personification of Ma'at. All right? And when you have that in mind, when you keep that in mind and you've done this enough times, then it comes to a point of, this is the reason why people who practice Kemetic spirituality, or people back in the day, this is the reason why they didn't judge. This is the reason why in traditional ancient African spirituality, okay, along with Kemetic spirituality, which is part of it, people didn't judge. You can't judge another because you don't know what this individual has gone through. You don't know what the individual, you don't know anything about their background, their experience, or any of that. You don't know anything about that, okay? This is the reason why you're not supposed to judge. This is the reason why who judges is the divine, and the divine judges usually through divination systems. Okay? So when I hear people going ahead and saying, no, and I'm saying this in specific to a couple of videos in which was made. I went ahead and I made one video and I was telling people, I said, I was talking about the whole reincarnation deal. And someone told me, no, that's not the truth. Okay, you sound like an individual who comes from the church, who's telling somebody what else to believe. Based upon my experience, that is my truth. Okay? I didn't say it was your truth. I just said it was my truth. Based upon my understanding, based upon what I've experienced, okay, that I've gone ahead and based upon what my spirits have shared with me, based upon my knowing, okay, because that's really what my eye also, it really encapsulates, it goes ahead and it includes all of this. Based upon my knowing, this is how things work, okay, this is how it goes. So, again, I'm not coming down on people telling them that you can't have an opinion. What I'm saying is that you have to be wary of your opinion and make sure that your opinion is not your beliefs or is not your truth that you're going ahead and basically forcing upon others. And we're all guilty of this. And the reason why we're guilty of it is because, even including myself, we're all guilty of this, mainly because this is a society we live in, and in this society, this is what we're forced to do. We're not encouraged to look at things from, an objective perspective. We're encouraged to go ahead and to beat and brawl down others, regardless if they believe in something or not. Okay, and we cannot deny an individual their experience. Okay, you have to remember, the divine lives within all of us. The divine exists within all of us. It is experiencing life through us. It is experiencing this whole thing we call this living, is experiencing it through us. Okay? So we can't deny certain things from happening. All right? It's part of how it learns. It's part of how it's experiencing. Okay? But in the process, we go ahead and we shape, this is the correct way, this is the wrong way, based upon the decisions and choices and decisions that we're making. Okay? Makes sense? All right? So if we're going ahead and we're doing it from that perspective, and we're living from that perspective, we have to also keep in mind others are doing the same thing. Now, this does not mean that just because someone is going ahead and doing something, and we see that it's going to have a disastrous results, that we're not supposed to go ahead and say, okay, don't do that. I see this with my child all the time. My child is going ahead and they're doing something, and I go ahead and I'm like, okay, don't do that. All right, but hey, stop jumping on the couch. All right, stop jumping on the couch. All right. The reason why I'm telling her stop jumping on the couch is because, well, I know all it takes is one wrong move and you're going to fall and you're going to bump your head. And then we got another situation we got to deal with. But at the same time, I understand why they have to jump on the couch and why they have to go through that experience. And eventually they're going to jump on the couch while I'm not looking, and they're going to bump their head in order for them to learn the truth of that. Okay? So, again, keep that in mind. My eye is all about, in Kemetic spirituality, like I said, it's about what you do. It's about what you earn, not what you deserve. It's about what you earn. Okay? And I'm saying that because we got to get rid of that. Also, these concepts and these foreign concepts of karma. All right, of thinking, we see somebody going ahead and they're being a jerk over, I hope this happens. Nah, karma's going to come back and get you. Yeah, that's not going to happen. All right. Again, it's based upon my eye. It's based upon the way it works. My eye is based upon what you earn, not what you deserve. Okay, so I want you to go ahead, like I said, I wanted to go ahead and drop that before I went ahead and I got go get my training, get beat up, okay, and do my training. And hopefully that goes ahead, that makes sense. Hopefully that helps you out. All right. Until next time, if you got any comments, questions, or suggestions, feel free to drop me a line. Again, head to Boo. Peace.
Don't pretend it, baby.